Hello, welcome to the virtual exhibition stand of Sustainable Energy Africa. Sustainable Energy Africa is the implementing partner in the journey of 4 South African cities committed to a net zero carbon building sector. This involves developing a regulatory environment that would ensure that all new buildings are designed and built to have a net zero carbon profile. But first, who is Sustainable Energy Africa? Sustainable Energy Africa promotes the development of an equitable, low-carbon economy throughout Southern Africa. Learn more by visiting us at sustainable.org.za and subscribe to our newsletter. The built environment plays a key role in climate change mitigation. Following the momentous Paris Agreement, C40 cities published a set of research documents that outline a clear pathway and set of actions that may be taken by cities to assist in achieving the goals of the Paris Agreement. Buildings as a global collective contribute to a third of emissions. This figure has been corroborated locally by the 4 participating metros in South Africa through the assistance of Sustainable Energy Africa. A deeper inspection will further show the potential for emissions reductions from the various building typologies. Here we see the retail and office spaces offering the largest abatement potential. Back to global research from the IPCC and the WRI, we are further informed that the building sector offers the highest emissions reduction potential at the lowest cost when compared to other high-emitting sectors. It is for these reasons, and many more, that South African cities are leading from the front in taking climate action with bold efforts to ensure the mandatory uptake of net zero carbon buildings. But how on earth do we achieve net zero carbon status? Thanks to a collaboration between ASHRAE South Africa, C40 Cities, the Green Building Council of South Africa, and Sustainable Energy Africa, in a freely available guidebook, you can learn exactly how. Getting to Zero is a guidebook that would assist you in developing your net zero carbon building specific to the South African context. The rest of this presentation will give you a high-level overview of what is contained within the ASHRAE Getting to Zero guidebook. Let's take a step back. What is net zero carbon? In terms of a building, net zero carbon refers to a building that is highly energy efficient, where its remaining operational energy is sourced from renewable energy sources that could be on-site or off-site. But again, how do we get to zero? In the ASHRAE guideline, we have 3 high-level steps that are, of course, discussed in more detail. But for now, the first step is to use passive design to achieve optimum thermal comfort through natural sources of heating, cooling, and ventilation. Secondly, when choosing active building systems, such as lighting or cooling or heating equipment, choose the most energy efficient option possible. Once your energy use has been reduced as much as practically as possible, adding renewable energy is your final step The building should generate as much renewable energy as it consumes over a set period. The ASHRAE guideline promotes an integrated design process. The integrated design process is a method for realizing high-performance buildings that contribute to sustainable development. The concept of building simulations is strongly encouraged so that occupant comfort is not sacrificed for energy efficiency. The way to ensure optimal thermal comfort as well as a high level of energy efficiency is to have modeling as an integral part of the design of a building in all these different stages. As one moves towards net zero carbon buildings, there is a need to have continual building simulation input into the design team. However, if not software driven, one should be conscious of energy efficiency and comfort throughout the building process. This simply means to make a conscious effort to check in on the thermal comfort of the building. Without simulations, there are options. For example, the core technology bundle, when applied together, will reduce the total building sites by about 50 to 70%, including plug loads. The technical characteristics of these building envelope and systems related technologies can be grouped into the slide you're viewing right now. However, some of these interventions might not be specific to your local climate. And that's where the ASHRAE guideline can assist. The ASHRAE guideline lists a wide range of South African cities. As shown on this chart, many South African cities can achieve thermal comfort without the need of active heating and cooling systems. This chart indicates passive strategies that are most effective for each climate zone in South Africa. The ASHRAE guideline notes a wider range of cities than is listed on this slide. This chart illustrates that if all available passive interventions are explored, then there is little need for active comfort strategies in the following South African cities. Again, there is a wider range listed in the ASHRAE guidebook. This slide indicates a more detailed description of the efficiency of various active comfort strategies. The ASHRAE guidebook also lists various case studies. First and foremost is the head offices of Sustainable Energy Africa. The Sustainable Energy Africa headquarters was designed to be as green as possible. Interestingly enough, in 2018, a 10 kilowatt solar installation was installed, and the payback period was an astounding 4 years, achieving a tax rebate of 44,000 rands, also assisted with this payback period. Moving to a case study in the residential sector, we're looking at the Joe Slovo settlement in the Western Cape, in the city of Cape Town. The Joe Slovo settlement is a fantastic example of how energy efficiency can increase energy services without increasing costs. And of course, once you have successfully achieved a net zero carbon building, We encourage you to share your success with the world. Learning through sharing is a key way to share your success and also to help inspire and educate other project teams who might need a little nudge before they embark on their net zero carbon journey. The 4 cities in South Africa have committed to have all new buildings operate at a net zero carbon status by 2030 and to have all existing buildings operate at a net zero carbon status by 2050. Through your development of a net zero carbon building, not only would you help your cities achieve their climate goal, but you would also be contributing to the world's emissions reductions. Thank you for your time and for visiting the Sustainable Energy Africa